Everybody's heard the old adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'm gonna challenge that this week. We're at the Johnson Ranch in the Hill Country, and I'm going after a big whitetail for the first time with my new breed bow. Along with me is Seth Johnson. He's got his favorite McWhorter, the 280 Ackley. We're gonna get it done. Stay tuned for more Brush Country Monsters.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents Brush Country Monsters.
Well, it's that time of year, season number 11 of Brush Country Monsters.
The Johnson Ranch, one of our favorite ranches in Texas. October 1st rolls around, the first week of the season, you can actually hunt bucks. The sweet thing about an MLD permit in Texas is that gives you more time to manage a herd.
You know, here at the Johnson Ranch, we have had great success being able to get an accurate survey of the herd using trail cameras and Big and J. It is an attractant, but it's an essential part of our management here on the ranch. This gives us an opportunity to get all kinds of trail camera pictures of bucks, and we can decide how many bucks are on here, how many need to be taken, and what are the most mature deer on the ranch. One that Lamar was after, we nicknamed him Gnarly. In fact, the year before, he had a lot of mass, shorter tines, but he had all this kind of junk at the bases. Well, this year, he dropped the junk, but he still had all the mass, dark chocolate horns, shorter tines. Beautiful buck nonetheless. We knew he was gonna be at a 160 class.
Early October, bow season, and that means the Johnson Ranch. Just left Cherokee, Texas, and we're got about a 4-mile drive to get there. And after last year, and y'all watch the shows, Seth and I cannot wait to get back here.
Lamar and I took 2 great bucks in our first season hunting here. Lamar kicked it off with a 184-inch giant. I followed up the next day with a 191-inch giant. What a way to start a relationship with a beautiful new ranch like this.
This year I was going to do something a little bit different. First things first, we're going to go to the range. I'm going to check the new breed.
Be my satellite. Be my satellite. Be my satellite. Oh, oh. Be my satellite.
Early October, we're going to do a little bow hunting here on the Johnson Ranch. Got the GX2 XL, my new breed. Got the shank arrows, got the Big and J. We're going to the solar pump. We've got a couple of really nice bucks that are hooked on the Big and J, and hopefully they come in tonight. So it's hot, typical October weather for bow hunting, but I'd rather be here than anywhere else.
We just got settled in here in the pop-up. Hopefully this afternoon will be the ticket.
First afternoon, and it's not too long before Gnarly comes out. He's with some other deer, but for some reason, I don't know if he smelled a rat or what the difference was, because the pop-up was new. He never came close enough or got to the Big and J.
That's one of them right there. It's that short time 12 point. He doesn't like something.
The next morning we get set up, get in the blind really early, and Gnarly comes out again. He's also with a deer we call Hightower. 2 gorgeous deer, but Gnarly just would not come within range again. kind of tough to handle sometime when he's sitting right there and he just needs to come a little closer, but it just didn't happen. After the morning hunt, we came in and decided to go into Cherokee. Big old burger. Good. Good thing I don't have to climb anything. I'm just going to get in and sit. Now you're going to watch me be a gentleman and open the door for his lady. Have a blessed day. After the hamburger at Sue's, get back in the pop-up blind, see the same deer, but once again, we're starting to think maybe the blind is the problem because once again, they don't come close enough.
I can't figure out why they're not hitting that big and J. They're not scared, they're just really cautious.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, the most accurate hunting rifles in the world. Yeti coolers, built for the wild. Safari Club International Foundation, first for wildlife. Hoff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, over 50 years in Central Texas, and we couldn't have stuck around this long if we were steering you wrong. Chupacabra Rub, shake it, rub it, love it. And Surge Pro, the best yield-enhancing foliar fertilizer on the market. Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue. Swarovski Optique, see the unseen. Burger Bullets, shoot better, shoot burger. Hart Rifle Barrels, unparalleled performance, handcrafted one at a time. And John Burrell's High Adventure Company, the finest collection of big game wing shooting and sport fishing destinations in the world.
Had some rain last night. This old boy is just about to make me mad. So we got a different plan this morning. We keep trying new things, and hopefully this morning is going to be the ticket to. The next morning, some of the same. Gnarly comes out, he makes a rub, he makes a scrape, he's acting kind of ruddy. Which sometimes, you know, when they're in rut and they got their mind on doe, they're probably not interested in food, and that's why he wasn't coming to the big and Jake.
Well, pretty disappointing this morning. This is 3 days now the windows have been open. They should be a little more used to it, but they're just not panicking and staying just out of range like they know where my shooting range is.
That evening, Rodney invited us to go to the high school there in Cherokee to watch a football game. It's a 6-man football team. Rules are totally different, but they're so small they can't field a regular football team, so they play 6-man football. That afternoon, producer Seth Johnson showed up. We had the whole BCM crew there, so maybe my luck's going to change. Another warm afternoon here at the Johnson Ranch. We're going to change it up one more time. They come in, but they just won't get close enough. We think it's the windows on this blind that are open that weren't not open, so we're going to change it up a little bit and see if we can't get them to come into that big and J. We know they eat it. Got video of them doing it with trail cameras. Just a matter of getting them to come back to it. We get set up in the pop-up that afternoon, same one I've been going to. We've been seeing Gnarly, so there's not a reason to change anything. So we get set up, sitting in there for maybe 30 minutes, and I catch a little movement to my right, and I slowly turn my head, and out steps Gnarly. This time, I guess the doe wasn't on his mind, because the first thing he saw was the big and J, and he made a beeline for it. Now, Gnarly is a mature buck. He is still wary. He sees the big and J, but he's taking his time. As soon as he gets in a position where I think I can make a decent shot, I draw the new breed back, I settle the pin behind his shoulder, and I let the arrow fly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it happened.
When the arrow hit home, it may have been a tad back, and it may not have been the perfect angle, but I still felt confident in the shot.
This was great. It's well earned. We fought. We did it right. We kept after it. Now I just can't wait to get over there.
Called Seth. He got all excited. They came over, and after reviewing the footage on the camera, we decided to be safe. We're going to give him a little time.
What? Look at the size of that deer, Rodney. Look at the mass on that thing. That is crazy. Look at the mass. Hill country deer. Natural genetics.
Yes,
everything.
Sir. Every bit.
Every bit of it.
No.
Boy, that new breed bow did his job. You know, it was a little bit cordon on, a little bit too much for me. But you know, when I look back at it on the film, I just knew that it was. When I shot the deer, I knew it was broadside, but it was a little bit quartering. And so we backed out, gave him a couple hours. Maybe we needed to, maybe we didn't, but here he is.
With Lamar's big buck on the ground, we all couldn't wait to get back to camp because we knew we had a treat in store. That's right, it's Rudy's night.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Big & J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong, the range is super long. Revolution Safe Company, inspired by Pendleton. Rotating gun management made simple. Borden Accuracy, makers of the Rimrock, Alpine, and Timberline custom actions. Swagger, the bipod with moves. And New Breed Archery, no hype, just hunt.
I had a great time getting gnarly with my bow, but now producer Johnson's up with his McWhorter. He's going after Hightower.
The deer that I was going to be going after, we had nicknamed him Hightower because he was a absolute perfect 10, really high, wide, just a beautiful buck. A perfect deer for us to try to target this year. So for this hunt, I'm using my new McWhorter 280 Ackley. This is an absolute tack driver rifle. I'm shooting the Berger 150 grain Classic Hunter out of this gun, going over 3,200 feet per second. It's got a real high muzzle velocity. Knew most of the shots I was going to have in this particular area was going to be under 200 yards, so I felt like this was the perfect rifle combination for this setup. Morning one of my hunt for Hightower. We're sitting there, we're getting all settled in, we're enjoying the morning. What a way to kick off my season. The very first deer out is one we call Blades. He's right about 120 yards right in front of me. Problem is, he's just not old enough. And if you're gonna be able to hunt mature old deer on a ranch like this, you gotta be able to let deer like that walk. We're sitting there enjoying the morning, watching some deer filter in and out, these beautiful oaks in this hill country area. I look up and here comes this buck. Last year we called him Tiny Drop because he's big, beautiful framed buck and he had this tiny drop tying off one side. This year he has two drops on both sides. One's about 6 inches, one's about 8 inches. Again, he's only about 5 years old. I know for a lot of you from the Midwest, you think that's absolutely a mature buck, but down here in Texas, they can get 8, 9 years old. And so a deer like that, we want to let him try to breed as much as he possibly can. You know, Alan, I hear that you guys were named the Custom Rifle Builder of the Year in 2017 by Swarovski Optic. That's a huge honor.
Absolutely. I mean, what an honor it is. We've been Swarovski dealers for a long time. We've always thought their products were top of the line. The folks at Swarovski, such a professional group, help us at every turn. Just an amazing honor for us, and you know, we're looking forward to this year and even a better year with Swarovski.
So you have several different models here. What do you have to show us?
Well, when you got a product line as wide as they do, there's a scope for every situation. Starting with the 1-inch scopes, that's a Z5, 3 to 18 by 44. It's a ballistic turret scope. Scope only weighs 15.5 ounces. From there, you know, the Z6, 3 to 18, it weighs 21 ounces. Another turret scope. Their newer Z8i is an amazing scope. Highest light transmission any scope they have, 93%. And the amazing thing, the elevation this offers will get almost all of our Magnum profiles well beyond 1,000 yards.
wow.
So it's another long range / low light hunting scope. We've talked about the X5 in the past at length. It is a great long-range scope, and still you don't give up any of the light gathering and edge-to-edge clarity that you see in all Swarovski products. So with a product line like that, it's real easy to sell a whole lot of Swarovski scopes.
Sure. And for each one of these, you can go to the Swarovski website and order a custom yardage turret built for the ballistics of your rifle, correct?
Absolutely, easy as pie, or better yet, you can call us, get a McWhorter, we'll put it on there and we'll order your turret for you. We test them all to 600 yards or even 1,000, so I mean, that's what we do. They're always perfect. Swarovski's just a great product. I mean, what else could you ask for? And that's your on-target tip of the week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
The first afternoon of my hunt, we get back in the same blind. I got high hopes. We saw Hightower late in the morning. He was headed to bed, not too far from this blind. We had hopes that he might come out. Problem was, it was hot. It was muggy, lots of mosquitoes. You guys, you know it's early October. We're on an MLD ranch. We can hunt beginning October 1st. The deer did not start moving till later in the day. The sun starts going down. See a few smaller, younger bucks, an up-and-comer. We had Big and Jay out from both the morning and the evening. We also had a trail camera set up in hopes of getting a picture of this deer. Still looking for Hightower. Same blind, we're not gonna give up on them yet. Seen some great deer, some great up-and-comers. I think morning hunts are where it's gonna be. We're hoping today's gonna be the day. There's a buck right behind him. I'm over here watching a double drop. It's young. And Russell goes, big deer to the left. And I swung the binos over and looked. Immediately, I knew it was him. We saw wide 10, we saw double drop, we saw funky left side. Last deer in, oldest deer we're after, Hightower. Man. There he is right there. Look at that big rack. Well, here he is, Hightower. This is a deer we have been after 5 different days in a row now. We knew he was a buck that we wanted to take this year. We got all kinds of trail cam videos of him last year. We've been looking at him preseason this year in velvet, and we knew he was a deer we were going to take. About 7 years old. He didn't put on much more than he did last year, and we thought this was the year for him. But I set out a mission. I was going to try to find him, and took 5 hunts, but today was the day. He came out with some younger bucks. Russell was the first one to spot him. As soon as I got the binos on him, I knew it was him. Got a little excited. He was coming right at us, and he stopped, was facing on, but I felt really confident in the McWhorter 280 Ackley. Squeezed the trigger. He only went about 80 yards, and here's the result. A big, beautiful, typical 10. This is why I love hunting Texas.
Johnson Ranch never fails, does it? Until next week, always remember, keep God and family first.